Hello everyone, this is Jason with Monochrome, and I'm the creative director and lead designer on Contagion VR Outbreak. And I am going to be doing this first video of many, and I'll just be walking you through a little bit of the demo, going to tell you about the project. This is the first video, as I said, so I'm going to be jumping around. I'm not going to talk about anything specific. I didn't come in to do this video to, go into a whole lot of detail. This is going to be a quick analysis, and hopefully I'll be talking about some things that might be interesting to you, and just give you a little bit of information about the game itself. Okay? So, if you haven't had a chance to play the demo already, so long as you have a Vive or a Rift, you can go to our Steam store, and there's a link available there. Just search on Steam for a Contagion, and you should see the demo available. Okay? So, when you start in the demo, the first thing you're going to see is a prompt that asks you, do you prefer left or right-handed movement? So, quick point about this is I'm a lefty, so I prefer shooting guns with my left hand, so I would choose right for my movement. And it's of course going to be the opposite. If you're right-handed and you like shooting guns with your right hand, you're going to want to choose left, okay? Alright, so with that out of the way, looks like I'm already set up for Locomotion. Normally, if this is the first time you're playing the game, you're going to be automatically using the teleport configuration. But if you want to change that like I do, you come over to this laptop over on this table here, and you just, you can change, between teleport or locomotion. Quick couple points about this. Well, first, actually, let me tell you real quick, what is Contagion VR Outbreak, in case you're wondering. Okay, so we are an action survival horror, okay? With a heavy emphasis on the action. We're going to have a full-fledged single-player campaign that'll be single-player only, but we're also going to be adding multiplayer to include co-op and PvP, okay? I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about those individual things in this video, but we'll definitely be doing some follow-up videos and go into, hopefully answer a bunch of the questions, which, by the way, check the links in the description of this video. If you want to stay on top of things, we're very active inside our Discord channel, and we'll include that link at the bottom as well. So please give us a follow. You can stay on top of things, ask us questions, bounce ideas off us. We're pretty open and transparent, trying to be. So we hope you pay us a visit, and we'll talk to you there. So, as I was about to say, our Locomotion system. So if you're familiar with Onward, we're basically mimicking that currently, or as close as we can. So your right hand is going to be used for your movements, so you can steer this way. You can also turn in place your body. It's not tuned 100% the way we would like it. We understand that it's, there's some differences between our Locomotion and theirs, and we're not trying to directly copy them per se, but when we sat down to do, our research, and we analyzed and played all these different VR games, we honed in on what we thought was, by popular opinion, what people typically thought of as being the best, and we used that as our target to shoot for. Now we're obviously going to go try shoot higher than that, but you got to start somewhere, so that's where it's currently at. Quick word about teleport options. So you press up, and you can turn your hand left or right, and that'll set your rotation. So you could play this game with teleport without actually ever having to turn in space, which we understand if you're using only a single sensor for Oculus, that's going to be pretty impossible for you to enjoy the game, having to turn around like that. So we want to make sure for the demo, at least, we had some form of rotation in. And a quick word about controls in general. We're going to be offering as many different options for movement as we can. You don't have a whole lot of choices other than between, just a general choice between teleport and locomotion, but in the future, you know, each option will have a subset of options to choose from, like snap rotate, smooth rotate, things like that. Okay. Also, when you come into the game for the first time, this is a way for you to change your performance settings. We just snubbed it in kind of last minute. We'll display your FPS. You always want to make sure you're like around 90 FPS. That's really important for VR. Otherwise, you're going to start getting reprojections, and that's where you're going to start feeling nauseous, and you're not going to have a good time. I want you to have a good time. So by default, when you start the demo, everyone's set to the normal default configuration. This is what I normally play with. I'm on a GTX 970, and I get really good frame rate. I don't have any issues. So if you do notice that you're struggling with that, you may want to try the lower setting. But if you have a 1080 Ti or something, like a really good graphics card, really good CPU, you could probably get away with using the higher setting. Also, quick point on that: if you're still, if you've tried using the lower setting and still struggling with FPS, go into your Steam VR settings and just make sure you're super sampling. Turn that all the way down. Okay, we're using MSAA filtering on the forward render inside Unreal Engine, as you can see, and so by its very nature, everything's already going to look really pretty sharp. It's not going to be blurry. So super sampling isn't really going to give you anything, but it will kill your performance. So you can turn that sucker all the way down. You really aren't going to notice a whole lot of difference. Okay, I promise. I don't think there's really much else I want to talk about inside here. So I think what I'm going to do is just going to hop into the demo. And I'll talk to you then. Okay, so we've loaded into the apartment, and I've turned down the volume just because I actually, we're a very small independent studio, and we didn't want to pay professional voice actors for the demo, so I actually did the voice acting myself, and my wife is actually the lovely lady on the other end of the line when I'm talking on the phone.
Hey Tony, man, are you still in here?
So, just a quick fun little fact there. Let me go ahead and complete the scripting event. Got to interact with the store. As you'll notice, I'll just point out real quick, in case you didn't pick up on this. Anytime you interact with a door, if you see a lock, it's basically telling you, like, you can eventually open this door, but it requires a key to unlock it.
Hey, babe.
We've also talked about adding in a lock-picking feature, so we have some kind of mini-game, so maybe this could be more generic and say, no, it doesn't require a key necessarily, but if you find other means of opening the lock, you can do that. So that may be any number of things.
Put me down for some General So.
We've actually talked about a lock-picking mini-game, so if you had a lock-pick, you could come up to it and work the lock until you actually opened it. So that's something we've been talking about. Let me come into the kitchen here. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the interactions we have. I understand the feedback that we've been getting, and just a quick shout out to everybody who's actually been coming into our Discord channel, giving us feedback on the demo. We really appreciate it. Please continue to do that. If you find things or think of something you want to share, hop in and request it. We have a channel set up inside our Discord just for making requests. Or you don't have to say a word, you can post on our scene forums, but if you want like direct one-to-one, back and forth interaction with the developers, that's where we're at, and that's how you can reach us. So right now, whenever you see like a triangle icon, that means you have to do a trigger pull, and that's just like on a toggle, same with the doors that I just opened up over there. These circles mean that you basically have to grab and pull, and you have to use the grip button to do that. We hear your feedback, and believe it or not, it's more work involved than you think to just swap a bind out. But I do believe we want to. I don't believe it. I know we want to unify the controls and make it all on a single trigger. So you'll eventually be able to press and hold trigger, and then pull the drawer open instead of having two different action keys to do that. So I'm just going to take out my backpack because it's scripting, waiting on me to move along. So, real quick. So I talked about interacting with things, picking up, opening doors, and whatnot. We may change the way these work, like they're on a single trigger press. I personally like that because I played a lot of VR games where they had everything on physics based. You know, you have to grab and pull. I don't mind it every now and then. It's fun to do it, but I got tired. You know, just having to, everything is like a physical interaction, and I felt worn out. I wasn't able to just enjoy the game. So I made an active decision to make up all our doors basically a single trigger pull. If we get enough feedback and, you know, people say, no, you're wrong, you know, we want to have it the other way, hey, we can make it happen. But you got to let us know, guys.
You missed me that much already? You couldn't?
So, let me talk a little bit about inventory and sockets.
Are you okay?
So these positions for like where you add ammo to yourself, let me just go in and grab some. A lot of people didn't know that I hid ammo actually here in this bookshelf. It's right here on the end, so there's actually an extra clip there, magazine, not a clip, for all those gun nuts out there who are gonna get enraged when I call a magazine a clip. So these socket positions, there's no way to change the location of these. I understand everybody has different, you know, our bodies are all different. Some people are taller, some are shorter, you know, some are a little bit wider. I tried to set it up because we didn't want to commit the resources and time to set up a calibration utility to allow people to actually, you know, calibrate it to their specific needs. So I did the best I thought I could, you know, to try to make everybody happy for the demo. So, but that is something for the full game that I would like to add as a calibration tool, so everybody can go in at the start of the game and kind of set all these important things up themselves. So a little bit more about these, in case you didn't pick up on it. The flashlight, you can socket that there on your shoulder. You can move around, it stays attached. It doesn't actually track with your head. We want to change that in the game, so you'll notice when I look up and down, the flashlight is not moving with it, only when I go to side, because it's part of the body, it's not part of your head. But there was a problem. We used to actually have it set up to track with the head, and I don't want to bore you with the details, but basically it's on the body now for just, you know, development reasons that, you know, I'd be happy to explain it to you if you swing by Discord, but I'm not going to bore you with the details in the video. So, let me come over here and advance scripting a little bit so I can continue to talk. That's going to snap back where it is because it's a very important scripting on it. So you can throw this all the way over there and it's going to come right back.
Breaking news. Biotech has once again come under fire after
so yeah, about these sockets in the backpack. So the purpose of these sockets that are on your body where you have the holsters, in a standard FPS you have a hotbar so you can quick access things, but if you have like an inventory system in that FPS, you have to push like a different button that opens up a menu on your screen where you can see your character maybe and all the gear he's wearing. That's essentially what this backpack is supposed to do. So that's the purpose, okay? So just going to show you that's the reason why you only have limited space here. I don't want to change that. I don't want to have, like, you know, 2 additional sockets, one over here, you know, get all kind of crazy. Because also, again, it creates a lot of problems and bugs, and, you know, we had actually a lot of reports when we were beta testing the demo with our testers. Big shout out to you guys because you've been a great help. Where people were trying to grab ammo that they needed for their gun, but they were grabbing their phone or they're grabbing something else. And that's just because of the amount of things in the positioning. So I tried to, as best I could, try to optimize the space that's around you so that didn't happen. That's one of the challenges, you know, that we've been trying to work on. So I don't want to add more things, but, you know, as far as increasing what you can socket, absolutely. And I think a good example of that would be, we've been getting a number of requests for things like melee weapons. So currently you can't socket this anywhere. It's not going to attach. You could throw it in your backpack. Quick pro tip, by the way. I don't know if you picked up on what I just did there. I'll show you again. So I don't actually have my bag deployed, but you can add things to your backpack. You just put your head behind your head, whatever you're holding, and press the drop button. Okay, and now it's in your backpack. So it made it easy to add things to, so you don't always have to take it out to add things to it. It's just kind of useful information I thought I'd share.
I'd like to talk at length about all the problems that we have with Melee and the things we want to change, but I think that would probably be like a 10-minute video in itself, so I'm not going to say too much other than about the Melee system itself, other than we realize it needs a lot of work, and I'm going to be doing probably a video specifically to talk about Melee weapons all by themselves, because they're special and they deserve it.
Honey, are you downstairs?
All right.
Listen, I just had the news on, and
everything, well, I guess I can talk a little bit more. I'll talk a little bit about Melee.
what?
So,
You mean they
one of the
blocked
goals that
entrance
I've
to
set
the
out
apartment?
as creative director is, for the team, is when you're inside the game, if the player is going to see something as a weapon,
Quarantine?
like, I look at this,
Hang on, just wait for me, alright? Where am I going? Right down.
so as I look
Shit.
at something like this,
Bedroom
I want to be
door.
able to pick this up and
It's still locked.
smack a zombie with it, right? Same with these plates. Why not let me pick it up and chuck it like a frisbee? I don't expect it's going to do a whole lot, if any, damage, but it thought it would be kind of fun,
All right,
especially
I'll be right
for
down.
VR, that you could do things like
I
that.
love you.
So my challenge to the team is going to be that whenever the player sees something that looks like you can use it as a weapon, you should be able to use it. And one last thing about all Melee weapons, they will all have durability, or limited durability, excuse me, and they will all eventually break. And yes, that is ugly as crap. We know. I threw the guitar in at the last second. I said, you know, we got this static mesh guitar. Let's put that, because it was sitting on the couch when we were playing, you know, before anybody in the public ever got their hands on it. I was like, you know, who wouldn't want to pick up a guitar and smash it over the head of a zombie? So we just kind of threw that in the last minute, but we'll have better looking debris for the, you know, what's left of whatever it is you break. I promise. So searching mechanic, it works really well. One of the changes that we may be making is perhaps there's more that can be revealed. So you search it and I take the key, and if there was something else that spawns behind it, so like maybe there was like painkillers in here, so I take the key out and then I would see painkillers, I take that, okay, now I know the bag's empty. So that's a change, because currently it can only spawn one item.
Tony? Listen,
Let's see, what else can I talk about? Well, let me go in here and actually deal with Tony,
You gotta get out of here.
because I don't want this video to be
Come
too
in.
long. I don't want to give away everything, or else we won't be able to do a lot of other videos. So I'm just going to come in here real quick and deal with him.
Holy shit! Better grab something to defend myself with.
Come here, Tony. Yeah, I'd like to tell you a lot of what we have planned for the zombies. One thing I would say is we're all in agreement that we want our zombies to shit on everybody else's. So what I mean by that is, you know, our zombies right now, they're okay. You know, they're fun, but we know they can be a lot better. They can look a lot better. We actually just hired a full-time, or not a full-time, but an animator who's going to hopefully be working, or he's already working. Actually, I shouldn't say he should, but I hope he's working. I know he's working, because he's been posting some really cool-looking updates for us inside our private Discord for developers only. So yeah, we want them to look better, have better hit reactions. I want you to be able to shred them apart, literally. So say Tony came at me and I had a shotgun. If I shot him in the chest, you know, I want to be able to blow a hole right through his chest. I want to see lots of detail like that, break things in the game. Not everybody's going to find this stuff. It's just kind of cool when you see things that, you know, people may not be aware of, that, you know. So I originally put this TV in here with the intent that players are going to be swinging their arms, they're going to probably have a melee weapon, they're probably going to accidentally hit the TV, and then they're going to turn out all the lights in the room. Actually, let me turn this one off. I haven't actually seen that scenario unfold, but I thought it would be cool if in the heat of battle somebody did a wind-up swing and they broke the TV behind them, and they're like, oh shit, I can't see. That'd be kind of scary. So let me advance the script again. I'm going to turn on my flashlight because it's pretty dark in here now. And Regarding, so spoiler alert right now, you know, you guys, I'm about to go out, and this is where actually all the, what I call the real meat and potatoes of the game starts to happen. So don't watch this video from this point. If you haven't played it yet and you plan to, that's my advice. So let me talk now about this. So this is the only jump scare that I really put inside here. I don't want us to be known as a jump scare game. But I'm a big fan of jump scares, and I think they're really effective as long as you don't do it a lot. By that, I mean less than more. So whenever you have a jump scare in the game, you don't want to do it so often because it's just not scary anymore. The player is always going to get used to it, right? So we're going to have lots of jump scares spread out in the game, but there will be like the appearance that there's not many of them. That's the way I want them to feel. Okay, so as I said earlier, dang it, why am I having such a problem socking that? We need to do some work on that, obviously. Still issues with dropping things. You're trying to socket it. It looks like the feedback says I could drop it, but it clearly it failed. So we got a lot of bugs still in the demo, but we don't want to work on the demo forever, guys. So we may update the demo a little bit, but definitely the focus is going to be working on the game itself, because everybody, as much as we enjoy the demo, and I know the people who've been popping into our Discord and saying how much fun they've had, we also think that they would probably rather get their hands on the full game instead of just updates to the demo. So I'm going to grab some of this loot. Alright. So, as I said, all melee weapons and firearms will have durability in the full game. Currently the axe does not have any durability to it. It can go forever. It never gets tired of bashing zombies in the head, or shoulder, or back. So you can pretty much one-shot zombies with this right now. So some melee weapons will be more effective than others. And true statement also regarding the firearms. So let's see. As I said also, let me point out, you can't currently socket any of the melee weapons, but one plan changed is that you will be able to socket two-handed melee weapons. Where I'm putting the shotgun, it's kind of hard to see. Let me show you. So this chest piece here, I want you to be able to socket two-handed melee there as well. So it'll be your choice. Do you carry two firearms or two-handed and a melee? All right. And a little spoiler Easter egg in case somebody, well, I wouldn't say it's an Easter egg really, but there is a grenade in the demo. You have to get it out of the vending machine. Another spoiler alert. So if I've kind of already ruined that, I suppose. If you're still watching, you probably don't care. So I'll just show you how to get it out. You gotta use the quarter that's in your backpack, of course, because what can you buy with a quarter but a explosive grenade that of course belongs inside a vending machine. And like every time we need something out of one of these things, I personally had this problem. So credit to Alex Wright, one of our other developers on the project, who came up with this entire idea of a vending machine that had a grenade that got stuck. And what better way to get your snacks out or your grenades than hitting it with an axe? So realistic. Yes. Alright. I'm not going to use this grenade now because this is actually the 4th time I've recorded this video. I'm tired of blowing myself up. I hate the controls. We're going to change it, I promise. But if you're curious how to use it, I did put a tooltip on here. So pull the trigger twice and then throw it away. Use the drop button. Now it's a lot harder than it sounds, and I know I'm not even going to bother trying to demonstrate that again because I'm tired of redoing this video, guys. I just want to wrap it up so I can get it out. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to, by the way, hats. We all love hats. You currently don't have a body in VR. We want to change that. So in the finished game, you'll actually be able to see, hopefully, your body. You may have arms too, so we're going to see how that works out. Because once we go to implement, you know, multiplayer and co-op, you know, what do you want to see? You don't want to see like just a headset and a pair of hands. You know, we want you to be immersed. So we're probably going to do full body IK, so you'll be moving and we'll simulate, you know, your legs moving, all that stuff like you've seen in other games. I promise you we're going to make every effort to do as good a job as we can on that. And I would point out before I end this video, I'm just going to show the weapons. We do have recoil set up, so you are rewarded for short bursts. And we'll be doing more stabilization of the weapon. As you can see, like I'm holding it with two hands so it stabilizes the weapon. It actually does work with the sight, so where you shoot is what you're hitting with the sight. We did a lot of work on that, and it feels great. And I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Please follow us. Check the links at the end of the video, and we'll talk to you next time, all right?